Okay.
So with regards to Sansucci and Associates, they specialize in appraisals and utilities. Our appraisers do not. We've previously had Fred Smith from whatever the appraisal company was before. He was passable at it. I don't think he was fully confident in it, though. It was kind of a very specialized field that we have not utilized anyone to do. This is a evaluation year, 2023, every 5 years is the evaluation year, similar to how we do on houses. So just for reference, Eversource paid us $519,565 and Unitil $389,075. Those are the two biggest taxpayers in town. And we don't have a full water assessing them. Especially with that planning on putting a solar field up and more infrastructure in there. So this gentleman, I had researched this at one point in time, this kind of stems from the consolidated Yahoos with their double poles all over town, but his name consistently came up. And his name came up again when we had the settlement with Consolidated. He was actually the one leading that class action lawsuit. He was one of the key witnesses. Part of that quote is if the utilities challenge our assessment, it includes him attending court. Yeah, he just basically offers his services as a qualified expert. And just for gets and jiggles, when I was meeting with an attorney last week about the polls, I ran that gentleman's name by there and spoke highly of him. So, I mean, he comes very highly recommended. Certainly understand that this is a large chunk of money, but I would think that the potential that we're going to be recouping from this is much higher, because I have zero doubt that we are massively undervaluing those tax assessments. And the people who can afford to pay.
Can I look at what we're paying? Sorry, I'm just looking at what we're paying now, that because alone, never mind anything else.
Yeah.
When you just showed the numbers off, I went to Eversource and 300 Unitil.
Yes. Their property, Eversource property in town is valued at $24.4 million, and Unitil's is $18.2.
I guess I don't understand that, because Unitil's not really supplier. We don't have anything that's Eversource.
Those giant transmission lines from Seabrook Station that run through.
Oh, that's okay, all right, now I got it. That makes more
So,
sense.
we look at like other towns, what they do.
Probably 95% of the town.
So, yes, some appraisal companies will offer that service.
No, I mean, like, can you like look at Brentwood's tax bills to see what they're charging us?
I don't know.
I would,
Okay.
I'm interested in that.
And I don't know what they use for suppliers, so I guess what we're using right now are the DRA rates, which is kind of like letting the IRS do your taxes.
There's no motivation involved.
Through this whole process, I have seen that the state is not an independent body in this process. They are solely in the pocket of the utilities, and they're not looking out for us. So this is an attempt for someone to be looking out for us in this endeavor. He does offer a 1-year quote, I believe, on that, and then there's a 5-year. So, and again, I'm not the tax master here, but I assume this works. There's evaluation, and then there's 20%, 20%, 20% over the 5-year period where it physically goes out and does an assessment of what is physically there.
Which is what we do with the regular assessors.
But if we did it for this year, the 35, it's the assessment's for 5 years anyway.
Correct, but we would not, I think the investment should be, and again, it's totally up to you, but he would just be basically kind of taking a snapshot and just cranking out a number versus doing an in-depth analysis of everything that we have in town. So to get this quote, Susan sent him the tax cards for everything that we had that fell under utility. And so this would also include the private water systems, like the Hampshire Area Water Commission, over in King's Landing. We know they're not anything on them. I do believe the one over on Federal Terrace would be exempt because it's community owned. when you drive around, I noticed them like 3 or 4 years ago, it was the giant white boxes that went by. We are not in the Comcast with fiber. Correct. We have not evaluated any of that. Comcast consolidated came through with like fiber optic on every single pole, and then of course ignored all the ones that they had double poles sitting on. But though that has not been evaluated properly, that is a huge infrastructure investment they've made in this town. We're not accounting for it in any way, shape, or form.
Chuck, do you pay a water bill? We do. So that's a little, anytime Lewis Builders touches a neighborhood and then sells it, they keep the water rights forever. And bill people with the, I think it's Hampshire water, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think there's another water company that came up in that process as well, but it's kind of like the IT thing, you know? I'm sure it worked great, we can have the school kind of do it on the side, but I don't think anyone here can say that Block 5 has not been a substantial improvement, you know, both from a security standpoint and a performance standpoint.
I'd like to see us go with a 5-year proposal. We don't know what we're going to find. I think I'd like to have a 5-year commitment with them. So we may want to go every year after or whatever, but I really think initially, as we discover what our potential revenue source and or liability issues, there may be other things. There's also a negative side to this that we may not be aware of. And if there's well thought of as an organization, I just to go with a 5-year deal and do it right the first time, and then make a decision in 5 years whether we're going to continue with that same thing.
Can I just say that I didn't know any of this was going on, but I did receive a call from Unitil that wanted to know our tax revenue, and I told them how to find it and
On the website?
on the website.
Yeah.
But just interesting that why would they call out Blue to find out what we brought in for taxes?
And my suspicion on that is that they're probably trying to make the case on why that solar field would be great for Kingston, which is gonna bring in all this tax revenue and all that,
Maybe they think they're already getting by with something in Kingston, so.
I don't put anything past those people, I really don't, and like I said, the DRA is not an independent body on this that's gonna give us a fair number, and every case is different, to Ellie's point, you know, to do a full analysis, we can make an informed decision 5 years from now to say, okay, well, we got to handle the line, well, it wasn't that much, but we didn't make that much, so it was good to know.
So if we decide to go with 35.5 and then the 20% every year,
Well, it looks like it's 2 prices.
yeah,
This is for the 5 each year, the 5 poles, that's for 1 year.
so
20%.
regardless, we've already done our budget, so where are we gonna pull this from?
Well, we do have a contingency.
Yeah, we do.
And I think and we also have an infrastructure, and does this fall into the infrastructure fund? Because we're really trying to assess our infrastructure in the community, this might qualify, I don't know.
And can legally we pay back the fund that we take it from instead of just putting it all in the center?
And I don't know whether the Comcast money comes out of or goes into, I know it comes from.
Comcast typically goes in the general fund and then we give it back to the taxpayers, we don't use it, which we've been criticized for, but.
I mean, this would be a good use of it, and I think it would probably satisfy some blockbusters for the cable company to just say, well, we used it to turn the tables on them and assess them at a higher rate. I think that would make people pretty happy, but
I think the best thing would be take it out of contract services.
But we didn't put anything in contract.
There's money in contract services, if that money's right, we'll talk about it after, but I think that's what would be the ideal thing, is contract to services. And the Comcast is already going to have a fund, you know, you can say, it's all one check, for line purposes, Paul will be the one to decide, but I think this is about some contract services.
And you only have to do this year, and I apologize for this coming up so late, kind of wasn't really on my radar, and I think that is you, so.
So, somebody want to make a motion on a 5-year plan.
I move that we go forward with the 5-year plan on the assessment of utilities in the town of Kingston.
And authorize the chair to sign the
And
contract.
authorize the chair to sign the contract, that's correct.
Motion is second. Discussion.
That says Susie Associates in Lancaster.
I think it makes perfect sense, but I would just say, caution the board, that this is where we can't just act that quick. We're gonna look at stuff, and it wouldn't hurt, subside it for a week or something to take a look at it, because I think we're operating too fast sometimes. I mean, it makes perfect sense, but it's just sometimes just think about what alternatives are. I agree, this is very specialized, you probably, I don't know if you need someone else to do the bid, okay? And I agree with Phil, and I think Phil did a lot of work on it, but it's just, I'm walking in here and hearing about it for the first time today. I just think we should just be cognizant, stuff don't have to work that fast.
So he has been working on it for weeks.
And I don't know if there's another company out there, again, this is the main one, and I want to talk to them about something else, so this kind of just worked into that conversation.
I'm gonna go with it, but I just think it doesn't hurt to keep the board informed and hear about stuff, and have a chance to process it, and figure out what's going on, not just, here's this, vote on it, and be done with it. The wheels of government doesn't work that fast.
Well, we're trying to speed it up a little.
I understand that.
And I appreciate your comments, Kevin, but I guess one of the benefits of having a qualified department head staff that's up to snuff, you rely on their judgment. And I want that.
And I look at it as an investment to put money in a CD to get a lot more interest back.
Or just, even if it doesn't return a dime, at least we know that we did our due diligence.
But I think we very little doubt that it's gonna return a lot.
And over the next few years, we're gonna have a lot of instances where new information, we didn't do one aware of things, or something's been done the same over forever, and we're not aware of it, so I think new things are gonna come up, and we should be a little more flexible. But I understand your caution, Ted, I do understand that.
I mean, if you want, I can check around and see if there's anybody else.
No, I would say, it's not the fact that when they're out, people, it's just to hear about it and make it go back quick. I just think, it wouldn't hurt to talk to other people here, think about it, see, that's my own comment, that's it. It's just, is there a downside to it, is there not a downside? I don't know.
This did come
What have other towns done? And what have other towns used,
This did come up last year or the year before when we were doing the assessments, and KRT assessor had a problem and said, I'm really not a utility assessor, and he did give us 2 names, and he didn't recommend a second one, so, for whatever reason, we looked into the 2 of them at the time, and we ended up going to DRA.
And actually, we had to go back to the old guy last year when we had a problem because the new assessors didn't know anything at all about the process.
Yeah, we consulted with Fred, when the consolidated settlement came up, just to have him look at his numbers. But Fred would always preface it by saying, I kind of know this, but I'm not an expert, so.
Are there any other towns using this?
Yes, he has numerous, and I'm sure Susan can get a list of references for him. I believe one of the things that's included on that is if there's a similar case to like Consolidated, where it was a class action suit brought by Consolidated against all these towns. Included in that price is him showing up or working that case, and it's just level loaded across all the towns that are involved, so everybody pays a percentage, an equal percentage. But if we choose to be involved in that, unfortunately, in the Consolidated settlement, we were kind of shined on by Consolidated that they were negotiating in good faith, and they did not.
Shame on us.
And the third-party contractor that was masquerading as a Consolidated employee, and then 2 days before the settlement was due, he handed it off to someone who was actually a Consolidated employee. In this case, we would have had someone that we could have gone to and got some independent information on it, been in a much stronger position in that whole process.
All right, well, we have a motion and a second. Guess that's it for this next
He
discussion.
is the second on that.
Josh? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So I guess they're gonna do a contract and send it to us, or we have one already?
I think well, it was two different things, I'm not sure we have.
Maybe it's in this folder. This is just,
Yeah, that's just a copy for us.
yeah,
It might be one in there, I can't remember what I got, the information, the prices, what I think I read. If not, I would.
So for this one, was the way it would be, as far as new numbers.
I would say it's pretty doubtful that he would have.
New numbers for them, yeah, I think he said about or something.
Yeah.
we actually have a contract with, Ford Spots for, settlements.
Is that the right one, is it the 5 years?
So that's right.
I thought it kind of nice that you show up for the time. You look at it.
Are you here for anything special?
I was told about the museum that I was supposed to come as representative and go purchase order.
No, that's the 27th of March, whatever that last Monday in March is. So they jumped the gun. Okay. I guess since this agenda went out like it was, we can go on and start. Do you have anything else, Phil? You want to talk about anything while you're up in your,
Can I just give you the whole download?
yeah?
So we've launched a concerted campaign to keep people from plowing across the roadway. With the branches we had come down and then push off the road, and people just routing snow up against it, and that freezing, it's just there's a reason there's a regulation for it. So I want to thank the police department for their assistance in that. They went out and hand-delivered letters to all the addresses that were not in compliance, and we're getting out there, and this last one, there was certainly quite a few less, so, the, auction. I had a form, send out an email copy of this, but these are for anybody who wants to put anything in the auction. That's just the information we need, it can be sent to us, and then we'll get it listed on that website. The one thing we gotta work out is just how we pay. So basically how it works, or I let the police how it works is, they'll bid on it. If they're the winning bidder, they'll get a notification, and they would come to you, since you usually take money from the town. They get a receipt, and then they go to whatever department they bought the item from, and pick it up. They'll just take that receipt. That's the end of that.
You want photos?
Yes. Photos, please.
I'll do it until you're talking.
I mean, we have a copier going on, a parts washer that we've never used, so we're gonna put that on the auction. So it can be small stuff, just
I got the shed.
Yeah, I mean, if it's smaller stuff, I'd like to get them all kind of boxed together. We're trying to do a phone system, just put that out, see if anybody wants it. Yeah.
Is that what the,
Which one?
the one you're on?
Yeah, it's just a black. It's like,
We're talking to speak loud. I need it.
okay, so they will get it.
Are we cleaning out all the storage stuff we've had? Is that what the intent is to clean out?
Yes.
So we accumulated over the last however many years.
Yeah, so we had one, glass container that we got, completely that was full of, documents. Another one with some broken materials, there's a couple things we just gotta find a home for. But yeah, we're just trying to grab all the stuff down at the stage shed that
Yeah.
free, that we don't use, just send it down the road.
So it will be publicized the auction, is that correct?
Yeah, so this is, they do their own, I mean, it's called an incident, and Chris can probably tell you better than I can how it works, but, it's an ongoing auction. It's just a website that has ongoing stuff. So, that way we don't have to get everything together, it's just, if someone has something, we just get rid of it. We just get it listed on there, who we got, and it's gone.
We're trying to get rid of the mentality of put it in the storage shed and put it on the stage. Because when it's stuff on the stage, it sits there untouched for 5 years. and then we throw it away.
not a specific.
Yeah, you'll see municipalities once in a while, they'll have 3 or 4 items listed, sometimes they'll have 10 listed, but it's just so you don't have to hold on to it and have it sit down there in inventory, because a lot of the stuff too, if it rots away or it gets damaged, like when you get rid of it, it's worthless, but you'll end up getting, I see the prices on those sites go for way more than sealed bids go for, because it's such a limited audience, just because let's face it, most of the time, the local sealed bid stuff, it's just those who know about it.
This is not the vehicles, this is strictly small stuff.
Because you're getting national exposure. People have been on this stuff from all over the place.
Someone from Connecticut can come back to that.
The one thing with vehicles, we need to have a title in hand, or it has to be over the 1996.
In New Hampshire, it's 2000.
Is it 2000? But yeah, I know there's some stuff down at the stage that was bid on, and then it wasn't the condition someone expected, and they just left it there. I suppose at this point it's just abandoned property, but the more information you can give us, the better.
I don't think the lobby knows it.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, you can sell it without a title, you just have to clearly state on an auction site that there is no government paperwork, no SF-97, no title for where you're buying it, as is. And some people in certain states can get registered, in certain states.
And the other thing is, if there's anything wrong, we want to be upfront and transparent about unloading lemons on people, just.
They're all lemons. One person's lemons is another person's lemonade.
So the Kingston Public Works Association is officially a 501c3 charity. We just got approval back on that. We'll have a press release coming out, and then we're going to have some people doing monthly or weekly deductions to donate to that.
I have to say, I'm impressed with you guys for that, because I've done the 501c3 applications, many of them, they are very complicated. So,
I'm surprised you haven't done something as much as that.
We'll mess around there.
You got things to do.
Sick time. So last week, or 2 weeks ago, I ran into a situation where there's kind of a lot going through the highway. We had 2 storms. The way the policy is written is if someone takes sick time, they don't qualify for overtime. They just get straight time. So head guys basically didn't want to take sick time, even though they were sick. needed them out resting so that they could be ready for storms later this week. They ended up taking vacation time, which I don't think is how it should work. I understand we're a unique kind of situation because, you know, my guys can't take 6 months of vacation out of the year. This is another one of those examples, so, rather than just doing some shady paper shuffle, I just wanted to bring that to the board. There needs to be some kind of exemption in the personnel policy or something, because if someone's sick, they need to go and be sick so that they're ready for the next day. I can't afford to be down with that.
That kind of works both ways though. If they take a sick day, you know, and then work overtime that week and they're not sick, you know, that kind of works both ways. You have to think about that one.
I don't know, I've always done it because I know we put overtime after 8 within the workday, because a lot of times overtime, especially that it's not like they're signing up for overtime and then back and taking a sick day, or getting forced out to do storm coverage and stuff like that. Yeah, it's things that, you know, they can help overrun or at the needs of the town, but then they're penalized by not getting that as overtime because and I hope the only good thing that probably came out of COVID is people started realizing that it's okay to be sick and stay home. And I don't want to discourage anyone from being able to do that when they are in fact sick.
So we would probably need to come up with the difference between voluntary overtime and mandatory overtime in a policy.
Yeah, I think I can grab something up too.
Well, we've got a couple of things that we realize that the employee policy needs added to it that.
And we can talk about, reconvening the benefits review committee, if you will, after the first of April, once the budget is passed and so forth. That would be a perfect idea. Some input from you, Phil, would be great, and then turn it into the benefits committee. Because there are a couple of things, that issues that were raised this week that need to be reviewed, and that would be the appropriate place to do so.
Okay. The water is operational in the highway barn, and we also are on the server now. A lot of files got us on the town hall server, so we can actually store documents on there. We're kind of working out with them if there's shared documents that maybe the town clerk's office has, or, you know, building permits or something like that. Maybe working on a shared folder where people can access those kind of documents, but, I was thinking the library, PD, fire department, kind of getting everybody on the server so that there's a backup.
And you want to.
PD and fire have servers. We have a server, and they have a server. So it's just you guys that didn't have one. So now you're on the one for this building.
But if they can do that,
But we
wouldn't you
can't
have to get
share.
backup for their server as well, if they're on this one?
It's all just servers. Like they are, you back them up regularly. Do you know what I mean?
So for the advantage of you being on there is when you start scanning the plans, then anybody in this building can access it.
Yeah.
And that's probably what you need to get with Rodney Green with and get a set of plans to scan and do a test pattern and put it into the system.
I was looking to do a requirements contract, specifically on fencing and HVAC. So it would be a 3-year contract that we put out the bid, and it's basically time and materials from contractors. So we're not calling 4 different contractors. We just have a contractor who's already bid something, and there's a set price, and there's a set material rate. So we don't have to go out to bid every year. It'd be a 3-year deal, and it's just the same people dealing with these things all the time. The way it sits right now is, the unofficial policy is that we get 3 votes on that, and that would be done in this case, but it would save us having to do it every year. And it would save us having, I mean, we cut a PO at the beginning of the year under that contract, but it would save you guys having to sign off on every.
Because now you have
So what my intent is, like I said, the HVAC, obviously the building needs that, and then fencing is something we're running into where there's just trees coming down on the fence, we need to get someone to fix it. It just saves us having to mess around with that, and we can kind of judge the efficacy of it and go from there.
And while you're on that subject, just a reminder to everybody to call Susan for Block 5 issues. Don't call yourself. I've said it, well, what's happening is we're calling Block 5, like you call them, they'll come out, they'll do something, and somebody else calls them and they leave, and then they come back out the same day. So if we coordinate these calls, we'll be saving money on the extra calls.
So that's just if they come out?
Yeah, if they have to come out.
Okay, so they just,
Last week, they were at town hall doing something, and he was leaving, and then luckily he got the call from highway that they needed him, so he went right over there, but if it had been 30 minutes later, he would have been down the road and had to come back.
so they can just remote in.
If it's remote, it's another thing, where it's covered by our contract, but when it calls for in-house service, we need to try to coordinate and get, because their contract is very large, and their time is very expensive if we add useless calls. Or if he comes like the other day, he came and did 3 things in one day, one trip.
Working with Ryan to get cameras put up on the town hall, the highway, or the public works buildings. PD's already been done, I believe you're all set, right?
You just have to come back and finish them, but we have the contract for us.
The intention would be the library after that.
Just for outside?
Yes. And one in your office.
You put one in the hallway of the town.
Yeah, that's right, the one internal one is in the hallway here.
Downstairs?
Yep. But it'd basically be on all corners.
We were basically, Phil and I talked about this a month or so ago, and it's taken a while to get going, but, the amount of crimes that get solved by cameras. Now, if somebody came in the back door and did something, we did 3 different people describing the person 3 different ways, so with the camera, pretty much
I think that makes
isolates it. It's an expense, but it could be a big saver in the long run.
Phil, must be more about this. I need to get it
Yes.
approved by my board of trustees.
Yeah, it's gonna be, we'll get it in place here, and then we can actually show the trustees like what it looks like, what the monitors, the screen and all that look like. But, yep. So we discussed that coming out of ARPA. And then, the other thing was the radio base station. I think Ray Rich's service, radio signal we get in there, so, we've been getting quotes on that, we'll be bringing them at the next meeting for what that's gonna be. But those are our outstanding ARPA issues. And then last thing, destroy trash barrels. I happened to see one on 111 right past the high school that definitely wasn't a plow, it was like someone ran it over a few times and probably saw that. I'm assuming they're gonna have to police report if someone did damage to the property. I started off with that. If they have that, then we can reissue the trash barrel for $70, which is the cost of the barrel. I just want to run that by the board to see if that's amenable to you guys. I mean, we can't give out free trash barrels.
No, that could get very costly very quick.
So who destroyed it?
I don't know. They haven't called yet, but.
She might say you'll be seeking restitution for prosecution.
I was sanding on Saturday morning and I didn't stop and take a picture of that. But yeah, just a straight talk to that, and that's all I had.
Okay, we're gonna jump to Kelly. Is that the plan, like Kelly, we've heard everything?
Let me see you here.
For the medicine, you have the fire department and it's brought in the fire department. Has it been tested yet?
Yes. It has been tested.
And can it be brought to drink or not?
I defer to the health officer on that.
I think the test was fine. PFAS, and it was, all the other, they didn't do a full garage, but they did all the major ones.
So it's not traceable.
I think it was drinkable after the sauna, after the treatment.
Can we see the results? So
I'll find it and figure it out.
And I have all the PFAS, I have all the invoices, they come in email, like, I just got a whole bunch, so I have. I made them, the first set that they sent, they didn't put addresses, so I have no idea what they were testing. Now they put addresses on each invoice, so that at least we know what property it goes to, but I don't get the results.
why should you?
I get the invoice.
Yeah, but the other company, you said, please give us a report, we will also.
I was gonna say, I talked to Eastern Friday, and what they're gonna do is generate a report that gives the counts and the circles around. Because DES, and he didn't know this, but DES told us that if we do the first circle, it's positive, we have to go to the next circle until we find out. This guy didn't know that, I said, so we're waiting for the report to decide the next circle. So.
We good? Good morning. How are you? So we're gonna go over the AED machine, but we're also gonna talk about hands-on CPR.
And you also have to talk very loud in here because it's
Should have a microphone or something. So I was gonna talk about hands-on CPR. There's one of the other tools as the AED is, unfortunately not every rhythm that the heart is doing is shockable. So sometimes CPR is needed. The good news is we're in the station, we're literally 2 minutes away, so we'll be here really, really quick. However, in the meantime, there's things you can do to help out. Every night the AED is located. Okay. AED machine is in there. There are a couple things also in there. There's a disposable razor. I saw some towels in there. I'm not sure what the towels are in there. I didn't actually open up and go through it, but we probably should look at it and see where it is on the AED machine, which I'll bring up later. So first thing we go over is the heart. Obviously the heart does not look like this, but in my class this is what the heart looks like. And first off, this is not an official class. I am certified instructor, you will not be getting any cards or just an instructional only. You take a real class, usually takes a long time today. But this is a lot of my class, okay? And a lot of phenomenal pumps. It's very important, so the pumps going to pump the blood and the oxygen off of the body. When something like cardiac arrest, it stops. So we have to get it started again. So you can become a pump. And the way that you do that is to make an imaginary line over to nipple. Put your hands down, locked up. I'm too short for this table. Normally you do this on the floor, obviously. You have to go hard and you want to go fast. Hands-on CPR was just allowed in the American Red Cross for lay people 2 or 3 years ago. People ask all the time, does it do anything good? It does. It gets everything moving again. I know everybody thinks the breath is really important, but the pumping is really important. Because if I stop to do breaths, everything I just got pumping, all right, so I pumped, I got the brain happy, I got the oxygen back, I got the kidneys back, and I'm happy. Once I stop to do breaths, the blood doesn't stay there, it goes back to the heart. So everything's like, whoa, we just shut down again. So when you get a patient, it's really important that you start pumping on their chest. Somebody else can get the AED. You ever see those videos? You go get the AED. Tell somebody to go get the AED. So there should be like a whole little thing you have going. Somebody calls 911, somebody gets the AED, somebody starts pumping on their chest. You're going to need a couple of people to pump on their chest because it gets exhausting. We have machines on the ambulance that do this for us now. And that's because people get tired and machines do not get tired. Okay, but make sure you change up. So when you get the AED, it's a great little device. Yours is going to talk to you. It's going to say something like, hey, stay calm, we got this. It does, it says something like that. Remain calm. So in EMS, we like everything to be easy. So there are always pictures on the pads of where to place them. Use purple. So one goes up here, Your AED will be telling you to do this, apply the pad, where is your picture? And then it's gonna say,
Do not touch the patient.
God, when it says that, it means it. Everybody gets away, I always do this, I'm not gonna do it for everybody to get. I'm touching that. Okay, and that's just a shocker.
Stay clear of the patient.
I'm gonna
Press the orange button. Shock delivered.
That's all it is. It is really that easy.
And the machine will analyze whether shock
So
means.
the machine will realize whether it's a shock or rhythm. When the machine, I'll get into that. Anyone can go into that. So shock or rhythm.
Shaving bags.
We need to talk about Grey's Anatomy. Is anybody watch Grey's Anatomy ever? Yes. Okay. So all we did is systole shock the patient. A systole is a problem. You hit it. And you can't shock that. Okay, when you're dead, you're dead. But you can do CPR to try to change the rhythm. So there's only 2 rhythms that are actually shockable. One person thought this could be a weapon one day because if I was having Tammy, could I go apply the one shock? No, because that is not a shockable rhythm. There's only 2 rhythms that are shockable. VFib and VTAC. When you're doing CPR, you're trying to achieve those 2 rhythms, and then when this gets on, we'll say, oh, it's shockable, it was shock. So sometimes this will say, no shockable rhythm detected. You just keep doing CPR. And again, don't worry about the rest. Shading men, and I'm not being biased, but men have hairy chests. You do, there's nothing we can do about it. If you put this on the hair, you can rip it, and you can pull it out that way, but you won't be able to use these. So you want to shave them first, and then apply the techniques. Okay, so if this person is in a chair or a bed, you want to get them onto the floor. If this person is in any type of water, wipe them down. You don't want them to electricity in water.
That's why you have the towels. That's why you have the towels. Sweaty, red.
If they have piercings, if it's easy to remove, please remove it, but don't put any, just look at that. Don't put any of those guys into it, if you can remove it easily, remove it. Okay? When you're doing CPR, it's fast and hard. You want to get 100 to 120 beats per minute. That's fast and hard. So you can think about you're doing that. I don't believe this, but they say Purple Rain has 113 beats per minute, and I don't believe that. Rain is a very slow song. Staying Alive, I would say raising like that, 103 beats per minute. The little, what's the baby shark? The baby shark, 120 beats per minute. That's a really good one to do because it's close to 120. And the Imperial March from Darth Vader walks in the room, 106 beats per minute. I didn't do that one either. So if you have music in your head, I just do this. I do it over and over and over. When you're doing it, you want to rock your hands and you want to rock your arms. If you do this, you're going to get tired. If you jump, you're not doing anything. Not do that. Okay? Questions?
When she says it'll wear you out, it will wear you out.
It's exhausting.
Probably a minute about what the average person will be able to do.
Let's say 60, 100 beats, you're feeling it. We have one guy in the class who's a freak of nature. He can do CPR probably when we have at the hospital, and it will be great. We have a little machine that tells us how good we're doing. I can usually do like 100 to 120, and I see it getting smaller and smaller. Don't feel like to be the hero and keep going. If you're getting tired, your concussions aren't as good. So this heart isn't beating as well. So you're not doing anything. There's nothing to say, hey, I need to stop out, or hey, Greg, I'm really tired, I'm going to take over. Okay, you're not hurting anybody's nose or anything like that. Okay? Yes. Can you hurt someone that's very frail? So that's the question. Will you break ribs? You will. You will. And you'll hear, I still make a face. I try not to make a face, but you do.
You feel it.
You have to question them, will they rather have a broken leg or will they rather be alive? Okay?
And at one time, they argued and said, when you might puncture a lung with the rib, and the same answer, would you rather punch a lung or be alive?
So think about it, those things can be fixed, death cannot be.
So if you're by yourself,
Yeah,
one person goes down,
Yeah.
up and juice.
so if you're by yourself, I'm gonna keep those, I don't know what to do, somebody take charge of direct, okay, and then make sure you smoke up.
Well, they keep giving charge for them just to get it done.
Depending on those days, if they stay in a shock, we're gonna have to CPR, and then if you shock people for 10 minutes in the hospital, and then unfortunately, there's one that we don't have to get shocked, and we don't shock at all. Depends on the patient.
So you just listen to the machine, just listen to the water.
Well, ours doesn't talk to us, I'm really upset about that. Ours is a little more detailed, ours doesn't talk to us, but we also have one Buffalo Bills, he had immediate CPR, I thought it was a little late, watching the video, but it was pretty immediate, don't look at that, because St. James in 4 minutes, and all doctors said it should have been better. But he did have immediate CPR, and he was shocked within the first 6 minutes, I think they said. So, he came back after 2 shots. So, yeah.
Well, your aunt saved my life with CPR 10 years ago in this gym. She died, and my heart had stopped.
Yep.
And Donna worked for me at the time. She got done that night with none.
Yep. Yeah, so, yeah, my whole family unfortunately knows this stuff. I've been in the struggle for 18 years, and it's very important. My kids have known that since they were little. It's something important, and like I said, just doing this little part can make such a difference in a person's life. Okay.
Even when you don't do the breaths anymore, do you do anything to, you
So
know?
as a layperson, you don't have to, and honestly, you don't have to take a pulse, you just have to look for signs of life as a layperson. So if you think that they're not breathing and they don't have a pulse, you can start doing compressions. If you do compressions on me, and I'm just a little tired, I'm gonna tell you to stop. And I'm gonna tell you to stop, but if not, you don't have to do a pulse, you don't have to look for breathing, you just have to look for signs of life. If you feel there's nothing, you can start.
What I would say or suggest, being a CPR instructor myself, when learning CPR is one thing, you're not going to do it on a complete stranger. It's going to be a friend, a relative, a spouse, a child, and you're going to want to be able to do it effectively because it's going to mean something to you. And I would suggest all of us learn CPR. I'm sure Kelly could put on class in small stats. It's only 2.5 hours to learn how to do it properly. To sit here and watch it, it's not the same.
It's not. That's okay. That process 5 hours, and this is 10 minutes.
And Kelly's talk about hands-only CPR, and I tell you, it's not effective. Hands-only CPR is if you witness it, and it's for the first 6 minutes because the blood retains oxygen for 6 minutes. After that, if you're not introducing air into the lungs.
However, in this situation, you will be listening at town hall, so it is effective to get started.
It's best to learn it.
Yes, so having but if you do want to have kids at home, I think you should always see breastfeed. Like that.
Learn to find it is very important. So,
Talking about something witnessed here in town hall, and you want that 2 minutes immediate do something. Okay, if you're not comfortable doing it, do you have to? No, you're no obligation not to do it. You can call 911 and complain. But we have the tools here for AED. A lot of buildings have them now, they're a great tool to have, and we've seen that if you witness something that's immediate, it can make a difference. So.
Is that for adults or is it for any age?
So it really should be for adults, but pediatrics get into much more, and that's where people we get into a much more evolved questions are different. Yes, that's where you want to go with us. Like I said, if you have small kids at home, I have my first grandbaby on the way, and I already told Matt we're doing CPR next week. And that's just something you want to do, and you want to make sure you know.
So, 2 things. One, well, you question, so that any AED that's in a public building or whatever you guys are using will give you directions the entire time. Start CPR. Analyze the rhythm, stand clear. So that's when you stand clear. And you'll keep doing that every minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. The other thing is when you call 911, it's going to be emergency dispatch on the other end of the line. So they're going to tell you, pull the patient off the chair, put them in the supine, lay them on their back, you know how to do CPR, okay? They'll walk you through all of those steps.
And they're amazing on that. They pads on. So if you say, oh gosh, I know some of it, but I forgot it, like calm down and get through it. And then we'll walk into it step by step. Alright, and again, this is just if something happens in town hall and you witness it, and again, this practice should take much more detailed house plan. And again, on that.
Is it,
Yeah, we're going to talk about going upstairs.
okay, anyway, so, the AED downstairs is probably over 10 years.
There were a couple actually downstairs, I was like, oh.
Will it still work?
Thank you.
So, we can't get a place for parts for it, or we just look at it, the ones in the cruisers are expiring, and the pads in the back are like a year back. So we already ordered some last year, but we're not expecting to see them anytime soon. Same thing with, AEDs and all our apparatus as well. So Kelly and Kelly is working on a grant to try to replace it. It's probably $225,000. They're going to give us $2,000 for trade-in for the ones in the cruisers and the ones that we have, because they can still use those. But if we don't get the grant, I don't know if that's something we want to look at for ARPA, or maybe just do a couple for ARPA, maybe buildings. But they definitely need replacement. We went downstairs, I think it says
This is about process.
10 to 15 years. Yeah, I think this one, the library, one,
So the library being on that 22?
yes, and we thought for in the grant, we're putting one in the highway garage, outfitting the cruisers, our vehicles.
Melissa, is the battery there on?
I don't know.
The grant is probably in the next couple weeks, so we'll know hopefully in the next month or so. But
Okay, you got the floor, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much.
So some of you know that we had a shower leak in the station. It was on Friday and they never sealed the shower, so after the guy used it 10, 15 times, we noticed standing water in the next room. So the construction team knows about it. The problem is that the plumbing company was bought out midway through the project, so either way, we're working with finance to figure out if it would benefit us to put it on, put a claim to our insurance, and our lawyers, finance lawyers, go after and sue that company or whatever the best approach is. But we do have some meat in the game that the construction team is withholding $20,000 from the plumbers. So, but we're talking flooring, sheetrock 4 feet up. That's a major. That was the issue, the standing one.
But we go back down if there wasn't enough there, because they warranted the building for so long.
Yeah, so that was the other option, was that Bound would do the work and then sue Denmark Hall, their insurance company, to recoup the money. We talked with the site supervisor that we had from Bound. He asked what we would like to see. Kent and I told him that we want actual professional mold mitigators, like Service Master, Service Pro, to mitigate and test for mold, not to have his guys willing to do it, because 10 years from now, I'm on black mold and mold. So have a professional company come in and mitigate the mold that's there, and then the repairs, because Mountain did the project, and is familiar with everything in the building, that they can do the repairs once the mold is removed. So we're making progress. I'll keep you updated every step of the way, but I just want to give you it.
I have a question on that, as far as submitting insurance claims, because we had that fire panel that got fried on a Christmas Eve storm. I was all over. That 3
you don't have, you have a login, right, for Primex?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you don't have one, or I could get you a login, but you can go on and there's insurance, like, claims and stuff.
There's a potential FEMA case for the TV storm, so whatever they pick up for us, they will cover that part of it for the fire panel, a bunch of other stuff. Graham, Joel, and I are all working through that. We have that information due tomorrow.
Yeah, start.
Continue.
I'll tell you.
Who's next? Finance.
I have a few things. First, I finalized and submitted the budget, the warrant articles, the default budget to the state, and everybody has that to sign. And we have to post it by today, for the public. So that's a relief, that's all done. I've been really trying to catch up with everything. I'm almost done. It'll be done by tomorrow, pretty much, all of my catching up, so I can start the new year. I will tell Marissa to start helping me. I'll start training her. We talk next week on payroll, so that if I'm sick or out, there's a backup. That's it for the finance, but I do have some other issues. So, things have come up. We have some benefits that we offered that I found that were never in the personnel manual. So, we give $2,000 a year for anybody that does not take our insurance. They have to prove that they have coverage under somewhere else, so they have to send a copy of their insurance card or whatever. So we give $500 a quarter for those people. There's, I think, 8 people that take advantage of that. That is not in the personnel manual. I think it should be, but it's always been done. I look back.
When someone is hired,
Yeah.
are they told that?
Full-time, yes, because they get this form.
Okay.
And this form has that option down here. And before we authorize anything, I need proof of their insurance. And then the second thing is that it came up to my attention at the end of the year with the sick time bonus. So what that, I forgot to print that out, but what that is I might have the amount of days wrong saying this, but if somebody didn't take 0 to 8 days, they got $150 bonus for not taking sick time. If it was 9, I think to 16 or something like that, you got 100, and then 50, and then 25. I keep track of all the sick time, and I have charts, so that's how I came up with that.
Well, just to comment on that, you keep up with sick time, but you have to be told when somebody's sick.
Oh, yes.
So we need to make sure department heads.
It's on their time sheet, when they send me their time sheets.
Well, that's another item that should be, to that, we refer to the benefits committee, which will considerably have to act for us.
Yep, this needs to go in the manual, because I honestly had no idea about it, but I looked back and it's been done since prior, I didn't even continue looking back, but I looked back to 2010.
And that's something that the board will probably want to discuss, because we had tangentially talked about when we were reviewing whether or not to go to earn time, and we decided to postpone that because there were so many other changes. So that issue may be moot, should we move on to earn time in 2024.
There's no correlation between the budget and the benefits committee, right? If the budget passes or if it doesn't?
No.
So can we continue a meeting before April 1st? Like, can we have a call meeting in the next couple of weeks?
just, I know there's a lot of questions about education, about.
There's a lot of things that, yeah.
I think, and if people are busy or whatever, I totally understand if people are gonna be busier in the summer, but, if we want anything to go forward, like next January 1st or whatever, then I think we got a lot of homework to do.
I don't have an objection to getting together. The reason we didn't even talk about it first was because anything new would be adopted after the budget was.
Right, I just think this, like the sick time, and overtime thing.
Yeah, we got three things that we have
Yeah,
to
get the ball rolling, because there are a lot of things that from reviewing this, that I think should be in here.
Okay, I have no objection to, I'm assuming my colleagues don't either, and I'll send out an email to Tammy, Lisa, you all out of it. And the two chiefs were, police and fire. And then we can pick a date, and then it goes like Thursday morning, again, like we did before. But I'll send out an email, and figure out a time where it's convenient to meet for all.
And the other thing, the last thing, it kind of goes with this, but for all the full-timers, you get paid no matter what, but I still need to know when there's vacation or sick time. Because otherwise it doesn't get accrued properly. So if we can have that on the timesheets, at least monthly, because that's when it gets accrued, like, just by month, so.
And that goes for department heads too.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That feeds into, if we need to change our payroll system, digitizing that even more to make it easier on you.
Yeah, because right now, if you accrue a day a month. A day, is it a day? For sick time. So, once you hit 45, I think it's 45 days, you only get half a day accrued. But if I don't know if you're taking it or not, then it doesn't accrue right. So if you could be stopped, even though you took some, but does that make sense? Like, I just don't know. So you could be getting more sick time accrued, but you're not right now. So.
Did you, I know you've been very busy, but so are you going to go back to looking at the changing over to partners and direct deposit and all that? Are you looking at?
I'm staying with TD Bank for the direct deposit and stuff because it works better. I did BCH withdrawals with partners. I like the TD Bank better. But we're using partners for all deposits, and then I'll transfer money over for the automatic withdrawals from partners to TD Bank.
Did you reduce the number of, I thought too many, but has that been changed at all? I think we do 5 different accounts or something.
Oh, I haven't put that into effect yet. I needed to make sure that W-2s were done because I was afraid if I activated anything, I had an issue that it completely kicked me out of payroll on QuickBooks. So when I tried to activate the new option, because what it does is it uploads everything to the QuickBooks cloud, and it was going back and saying that we had, do you remember, it was like 1,200 checks that it was like freezing it up because it automatically uploads all the old stuff. So I was like, I need to get W-2s done, I don't want anything screwed up. So now I can activate the direct deposit and the online portal, I'm gonna call it the online portal for QuickBooks, so that all the employees can get their stubs and everything online.
That's perfect.
So what do we use in Partners Bank for then?
Deposits, I write all the checks. All the physical checks are written out of partners.
Okay.
Yeah, but I use TD Bank for ACH withdrawals, like paying the school, our payroll,
The state.
And
And that's where truthfully, like all of the big payments for the taxes go to TD.
Yeah.
It just moves it to partners.
I move it to partners because it's easier to do that than,
Okay, just so as we look at who gives us the best deal or whatever, but it's also, my concern is TD Bank abandoning this now, so, I understand convenience or whatever, but I think it's gonna be a slow process anyways, but.
yeah, and partners, let me tell you, I couldn't order new checks, I ran out of checks for TD Bank. couldn't order them, they're like, oh, you have to, couldn't order it through QuickBooks because the account, they wouldn't let me do an ACH from QuickBooks. Couldn't put it on the credit card. Couldn't, I called the bank, they were like, oh, order it through this company. I was like, this is a pain. I called Partners, they gave us all the checks for free. I didn't have to pay for checks, which could be, that was like $400.
So the library didn't move all its accounts because we talked to TD Bank and they have securities against fraud.
That was another thing too.
That was our main.
Yeah, it just seems Partners is so more friendly and.
Yes.
Accommodating.
So I'm keeping limited stuff there and then I moved the money because it's more protected at TD.
Okay, so that all?
Yep.
Can I touch on, well, you touch on benefits, and I'll say something that everyone here, and I think we all forgot about it. There is a benefit, it should be in the policy, manual as well, PFO. There's a 457 plan.
Yep.
And we just added it to, offered it to the employees just pre-COVID, and someone was gonna come in to talk to employees. It would be great for the new firefighters and the new police officers because they're under the new system. And if you're not investing on your own, you know, the pension system isn't the same.
So every employee, new full-time eligible employee gets all of that. So like the new officers, they're already participating.
In the PFO? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yep. Yep. And they, I think they went to the highway. Did they, or is that just after I talked to you guys? Oh, okay.
PFO's available to the highway too.
Yeah, so it's to any full-time, any.
So if you want someone to come in, they were gonna come in to talk to people, but COVID hit and we couldn't get them in, so I don't know if you want someone or if anyone would be interested, but it's for all of us or anyone. It's a 457 plan that's well run and.
So, yeah, I give that information to new employees. Not part-timers.
No,
It's full-timers.
Well, sometimes can still put in it, I thought.
I'd have to look into that.
Yeah.
According to our language, the full-timers get benefits.
That's the next employee mentioned.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Fire department's turn to host it. All right, police.
Everything's good. Girls just started the 4th week, Monday. The officers, my 2 officers, I'm sorry.
Did you say girls? Is that
My 2 officers.
I'm very glad.
And they were very well, they said they have fun, they like it, which concerns me, because it's not fun. That means they're a little crazy, which is perfect, they'll fit in with everybody else. So, that's it, we're doing good.
How's the garage going?
Roger's good, we're just waiting for the doors. And then, we're good to go.
We're 2 more days to do it.
You're not gonna want to do it. No, we're good.
Oh, one more thing I forgot, sorry. I have been in contact with AT&T for our mobile phones. I canceled a whole bunch of stuff that, talking to the different departments that we don't need anymore. We got rid of Verizon Wireless, which was a 3-hour chore, for a $14 bill. And I have plans to call Comcast, that's on my schedule for this week we have to figure out, and Block 5 is actually, going to contact me. He told me Friday he was gonna look into it, so he was gonna contact me today or tomorrow. Because there's certain lines we need to keep, like the fire station line is the fax machine, the Hunt Road, that we need to keep that line. There was another one that, I think it's yours, is the fax machine. Yeah, that can come out.
Do we need fax machines in?
So, originally that was feeding a security line. So that was the calling line for that. You'll see a big bill coming from Michael. This is all the radios that he put in. So, I think there's one in South Station, but we need the landline for that. We did a bunch of upgrades to the radio so we can
But on the town hall bill, there's like, I think like 6 lines. So, I remembered when Block 5 came in to do our phones, he's like, these certain lines you just need to keep, because it's like the background. So he's looking at everything. Well, one's our fax, and we still get faxes, so we'll have to keep that one. Some was for security, so he's looking into seeing which lines are for what, and then I'm gonna cancel the ones we don't need.
Is the fax tied into our copy machine?
Yes.
Have we looked at consolidating now versus Comcast? Or,
And then should we really go?
Why would you encourage that behavior? Why would you encourage
that Comcast is just as bad.
They still pay us every month.
They still
So I just forgot to comment on that before.
So we had our first age-friendly communities meeting last week. That was the meeting that Rockingham Planning Commission, they had come in and presented to all of us. So that involves the library, recreation, human services, and we had 3 citizens from the town join us. I'm not going to remember their names. Virginia, Muriel Ingalls, and Byron Petrakis. And also the planning board. The Rockingham Planning Commission guy, Scott, recommended that someone from the fire station or the police department join our steering committee as well. So we worked on a survey. We used one that was put out by AARP that all the towns around have been using, and we added some things specific to Kingston, and we are figuring out how to send that around to citizens. And we're in the process of doing that over the next 6 weeks, and then we're going to meet again in 6 weeks and review the results that Rockingham Planning Commission is putting together for us. So there are 8, they call it 8 dimensions of age-friendly communities that they're looking at, which includes outdoor spaces, transportation, housing, social participation, respect and social inclusion, work and civic engagement, communications and information, and health and nutrition services. So I really think we're covering the gamut of what our older citizens in town are getting and how we can improve services to them. Anything I've forgotten, Paul? So, yeah, so that survey will be coming out very soon. I have a copy of the library's February. Does anybody have questions about that? Library's calendar, just so you know what's going on. I just want to highlight that we are having a mother-daughter tea on the 10th, which we think will be a really fun event. And we are having what we call blind date with the book, where people can come in and get 3 books that are wrapped up, they don't know what they are, and they take them home and read them, and it was very popular last year. The library is beginning its strategic planning. We started by rewriting our mission statement, our vision, and our values, and we'll pass those around. And then finally, I've been working to put together this memorandum of understanding between our board of trustees and you for how the highway department, what do you go by now? The public works department and the library will work together. So this is a draft MOU for 2024. The only thing I've added to it since we last talked was spraying of mosquitoes and ticks. The trustees asked me to add that, so. So what we're hoping is that Phil and his staff will help us take care of the building under this MOU, and he and I have met once or twice to discuss it, and the trustees agreed that I should pass it on to you for your thoughts. so if you can get back to me on that. I think that's all I have today.
When do the trustees meet?
We meet the second Monday of every month.
Second.
They had at the same time as our meeting.
I know, that's, and I could watch that, when it was, but I really like the total of it at the same time.
We should be having more meetings this year because of our strategic planning process, so even if you can't make it to the main trustees meeting, maybe you can come to some of the others. I'll send you information when we set up those times.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it.
I said that was just events that are coming out. The main thing I want to talk about is the grants. We've been flipping and flopping and going back and forth on this. I think the major thing that happened was moving to the DPW, the new idea. We talked about this before, but rather than tearing that whole playground down, which you need to do to that's the community center grant money out, it's something new, you can't just refurbish it, but first idea was to refurbish it, there's a lot of things in there that are in good shape, buy a room, something like that. We did take the $29,000 that was given to us by the voters, and we bought playground items to put in there. Excuse me. So we've talked a little bit among us about whether we want to continue to go with the grant. I haven't heard from them in probably a month, maybe a little over. So I don't know if we want, my feeling would be no, we don't want the grant. We're doing fine, we want to keep some of the stuff that's there. I think Phil has some great ideas about putting a fence around, putting those pieces in, Sure. Thank you. The playground services, I think that's absolutely in order to do that, so. Fully agree. Thank you. I agree. Okay.
Now, we're doing some materials to do the restoration of the apparatus we're keeping. The cost that this will put upon us doesn't really justify the grant, because we got to get a survey done, you know, just the strings attached to it are not worth it.
My only question was just to see, I know that was the new, when we decided we didn't want to go new. And it was approved in December. And yeah, we didn't hear anything from, none of us did. But my question would be, is it worth just submitting that bill for the 29 spent and say, we have this and say no, then see you later. Because the survey, we already know we can do the survey. That's yeah, well, yeah, it's not that big of a left.
But that's going to lock that land in perpetuity. So we have no decision-making authority on what happens with that property.
For the field and that property, yeah, that's it, nothing else.
I find them very difficult to understand and to deal with. They're very good about communicating with Bill. We had a meeting and there was two of them, and one would say something, they kind of say the same thing, but say something different, and then a lot of, not that that's, you know, but I just think dealing with them in perpetuity, like you said, is, you know, and the strings attached to that is not really right. I think we can make the playground run great with what we're doing. We're still getting the money, I believe, from partners, the $10,000 that they pledged. We had $2,300, I think it was, that we raised. So we still have money to spend there. And that the labor will be your guys' time. It wouldn't be like hiring somebody out to do that.
When there's so many strings and strangling, it's not worth going down that road.
And it bothers, absolutely, and it also bothers me that we're just, you know, we have to take something down. I really like Phil's idea of refurbishing, and that just doesn't go with the grant stuff.
We wouldn't be able to replace in kind with what they're expecting us to do. Like you just said, we bought 4 pieces of apparatus for 30 grand. So the 40 grand they're going to give us is not going to replace what we have to take down. On top of the fact that it's fairly serviceable as it is, it just needs some maintenance that's been deferred on it.
as long as we provide a great opportunity for our kids and safe, that's the main issue.
I think as it sits right now, what we'll always vote on is a refurbishment of the stepping stones playground and the apparatus that is blocked. What we're planning on doing, we'll check the block on that without having to get the fence or anyone else.
Good.
We're done.
Is pickleball working out for you? I mean, I see it on the video, and oh my God, it is,
I think we had last time we had about 65 people. There were people playing 5 evenings a week and 5 mornings a week.
no kidding.
So, and they're not always well behaved.
Are they being charged at all for this?
So we have, if they're a Kingston resident, it's $50 for the year. If you're not, it's $60. So we built up, say it's $50 times 60, or $3,000 that we can use to buy new balls, to buy another net, to for them. So
Seems like the 60's cheap. I'm fine with 50, but it seems like there would be more than $10 difference per taxpayer and non-taxpayer.
we can look at that, and I think, there's, like Exeter does theirs, I think for this whole summer it's like $15 or something, or it's pretty cheap, so that, I don't think we have a lot of expenses. The school's been nice enough to let us use Swayze, and I think we may be able to use that more in March and through the summer. But yeah, it's pretty popular. I mean, I think one of them was coming up with a proposal to put in 2 more.
They wanted to incorporate the ball courts in this town hall.
Because Dan did that.
So they slide on the floor.
He's Kingston.
I would say it's very popular. I've talked to a lot of people like that I know, and they didn't know that Kingston offers it.
We really haven't advertised it.
So,
Because we're really, we're kind of at the maximum we can say, if you were to sign up, we want to be able to say you should be able to play at least a few times a week. And we're kind of reaching the point where we can't necessarily guarantee that. So if it's a Kingston resident, we try to get them in. If it's a non-Kingston resident, we put them on a wait list. But it's grown, 2.5 years ago, there was like 6 of us, chucking into the high school tennis courts, and now it's just blown up, and I think we're gonna have a meeting on Sunday, kind of go over some things, like be nice to each other, and, things like that.
We can be in full contact.
What's that?
You may lose detail.
So this is an issue that's going to keep coming up because they're quite persistent. Subset. So we had put an offer out there to do some courts on the edge of the stepping stones playground where we had room at the fairgrounds. The one person didn't like that. And they went out and found, or they were pushed towards the Swayze option, but the intention when the Rich St. Blair recreation area was set up was for that to be a ball field where the grass area is right in the corner of Wadley and Main Street. They had talked about putting 2 courts in there in addition to the basketball court.
In the on Market Point, the 2 towards the outside of the fields.
And I'm not opposed to that, but I guess what I'm trying to avoid doing is having a bunch of opt-in practice getting thrown in there as people go through these whims of, because maybe 5 years from now they might, but, what's that stupid game? And cricket, or no, it's sort of stupid game. I just, how these things go, we get popular and then they just fall off.
I think it's interesting. I think there's a bigger issue here because we offer 3 different exercise. We have yoga, something called bone builders, and a walking group at the library. And people are just clamoring for these kinds of exercise programs. So it might not just be pickleball. It might just be the other way.
I guess my intention would be, if we're gonna put everything at that rec center, again, my preference would be to be down in the fairgrounds, so that we're utilizing that area more. I think the rec center is getting, but if we do
the amount of TV time on a tennis channel that people watch better. Interferes with regular tennis as far as I'm concerned. By the same token, it's really quite popular, and I've been amazing how it's really rigorous emotionally, just on the coverage it's getting on national television.
I think there's, you pretty much anyway, like tennis is a little bit more.
Right, that's right,
So you can play it on whatever level you want to. I think it appeals to a lot of people. I wouldn't know, because most of the people that play are, you know, my age, they're 60, 70 years old. I'm not 70. I feel 70, but I'm not 70. So I just wonder what that next generation, like our kids, are they gonna embrace tackle football, or are they gonna find some other sport that they want to play? And that would be nice if that basketball would, you know, supply whatever they want to do there.
Yeah, so there's a skateboard park that, you know, ramps and stuff that can be brought in or whatever. I mean, we just should have, if we do something, it should have multiple uses.
But they will keep, they're very persistent. It's,
And so it appeals more to older folks as opposed to teenagers, for example.
I think so. I think kids are playing in school though. At least in Florida, I've heard that. So that's kind of where pickleball started, from what I understand. It kind of moved up here a little bit, but it kind of started in Florida with the senior citizen living areas and things like that. But yeah. But and also, Exeter has just put in, I think, 4 pickleball courts, just pickleball, and they have their tennis courts, and then, you know, they have resistance to pickleball in the town, because the tennis players don't want pickleball, it's, yeah.
Like I said, I'm all for it if it's popular and it's getting people to utilize the facilities we have, but I guess, frankly, we're just not gonna be calling stuff in the wind to just.
Right, I get that.
Right.
Interesting.
What is the pickleball off outside? Is that a white slate or clay, I should say, not slate? Or can you do it on asphalt?
Asphalt's what they like, the smooth asphalt like a tennis court.
Yeah, the one we have is, I don't think it's that smooth, I guess it is, but it's a basketball court too.
But I agree, I think stuff should stop going to the fairways. That's what the purpose of it, you know.
A lot of people don't even know that exists.
I know that, no one knows that, so it's really full of purpose.
Right. Well, I think we need some signage, I think we need some advertising, some education and things like that, once it's, you know, repaired and, but yeah, absolutely, that's part of it. So a couple of new things, cards and coffee, just people coming and playing cards at the rec center, having some coffee and refreshments, so being social. A presentation about moose. I think the plural moose is moose or meese. A couple of things for the kids, and then we're pairing with Hampton Rec for a couple of activities, going to see Joseph and the Amazing Dreamcoat at the Palace Theater. We go to the Botanical Gardens up in Maine, both of those in June. So it's nice to pair with them, so we can fill the bus. We're not needing to just have another person there. It's nice to help coordinate. 2 heads are better than one. So that's it.
Tammy.
Just so everyone knows, we're in the middle of the filing period, so we have a lot of open positions, including library trustee. So the deadline is Friday. I will be open from 3 to 5 for any last minute people that want to walk in, and by law I have to be open to sign up to be a candidate. The deliberative session is the 4th.
Which is next Saturday.
Which is next Saturday, and I will need copies of the budget and the warrant and the default to make for those hordes of people that want to come in and participate in the deliberative session.
I'm just waiting for them to sign everything.
It's all signed.
Well, me and the budget committee had to finish signing.
After, the school deliberative is on the 8th, so after Saturday, I'll be able to order ballots. I am watching closely the legislation on provisional ballots, because right now, if you came in without an ID and had never voted in New Hampshire, we would have to put your ballot in a separate envelope, and then if you don't provide identification to the state within a week. That ballot has to be taken off of our totals. Absolutely ridiculous, but I am watching it.
Yet another piece of legislation where the legislators have no clue what they're doing.
Absolutely, yeah. Candidates night is the 27th at 6:30. Do we have a moderator?
Mr. Combs has volunteered to do it.
Terrific. And do you need any help with timers, or is usually an index card? Well, okay. We're registering dogs for this year. We have over 1,600 dogs to register between now and you. Yep. Billy High has been
Including us?
I'm sorry?
Including us?
Yeah.
We don't recommend anymore.
Oh, too bad.
Scares me.
Jamie, how come the town moderator isn't available?
She's out of town.
How do we pick that date then without?
We talked to her, and so the dates that we wanted to do it, the school had their stuff, so it just
didn't work out.
Nothing says the town moderator needs to do it.
Right. In fact, for many years, it was the Kingston Business and Professional Ones that organized the event. The Lions had done it for a while, and so.
right now we don't have any contested races, so.
Okay.
But hopefully that will.
There are still positions open, I think, on the school board and school budget committee.
Yeah.
But people have to sign up with Phyllis Kennedy at the SAU office.
Yep. Wednesday, I'm sending out delinquent notices for the $531,000 that is past due. By law, I have to do that before I can start the whole new process. An issue came up with talking to the scanning people, that everything has to be saved. Permanent records need to be saved in a format they call PDF-A, so that we can get rid of the permanent files. And they are gonna make that change, but my question is, are we scanning them in PDF-A format?
Yeah, we have to look into that.
We have to look into that, because if we don't, we're gonna have to keep saving all these files, the property files, the minutes, all that stuff, so we need to address that. Something that you may wanna think about is the option of taking credit cards on that side of the building. I'll help you with that if you need some help with it, but it's something we might wanna consider, because people coming in paying $700 for a permit or whatever.
It's amazing how many people ask for it. I mean, not only that, but they want their points or mileage.
If we're going to charge them fee anyways, what difference does it make?
Exactly. And that's what when I propose accepting credit cards for tax payments, like, that's the way they want to pay it. Why not let them?
Yeah.
Just an option, and then that also goes into being able to do stuff online, you can swipe, or, run your card online to pay for your permit or whatever, so. And that's it.
Okay. Well, human services is human servicing. So, anything else I want to do before we go the rest of our other stuff?
I just had a general question. Do we have, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an employee-based thing, but probably could be helpful, a technology committee? So like, for example, I don't know if anybody actually has like a PDF license, or, we kind of fumbled along trying to get on the server there. And I do think, at one point, we looked at like, having a calendar that we could utilize to see who's on vacation, and it just seems like we have these kind of technology questions just kind of hanging out there in limbo.
We need to do that. We need to do a safety committee again, which we used to have, but, haven't met in years. We got a couple we got to start.
And the record retention committee needs to meet, which, we haven't done it in a while, and we need it.
I think if anybody wants to drop any suggestions in on what we need, then after the election, we start, manning or putting people on these.
I will say, I think getting a full PDF license is suggested.
And Lisa had been researching like a budget, one, not an Adobe one, but another company that Block 5 had recommended, but I guess before everybody kind of goes off on their own little tangents, trying to get, we got 15 different softwares floating around the town. It would behoove us to have some coordination.
Well, the fact that our technology is improved enough to even better technology is kudos.
Richard actually came up with a great idea, I don't know if you're all aware that we're gonna, after the election, at the next department head meeting.
The 27th, I was gonna bring that up.
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
I'm scared to tell it.
Well, the 27th, we wanna have, I mean, Tanya will run part of the meeting, Paula part of it, Susan may run part of it, and we may run part of it, but we're gonna do a procedures type thing on everything, I mean, from calling Block 5 to POs to policies.
Taking minutes when they're required.
Minutes.
To be in minutes, just some general information, you know, a lot of new people, it will help to reiterate what needs to be done.
And I would highly recommend that your admin be here.
Well, I'm gonna be sick that day, so.
Nice.
But the very more important, Holly's here, than you are. But, I mean, and exactly, we get a lot of POs that will tell us what they're spending, but it won't say what's left in the budget. You know, people are not filling them out, especially when they're in a hurry. We get people sending things to Paula to be signed, that should go to Susan first. I mean, a lot of the type of stuff that, you know, people are skipping steps, and most of the time it's an urgency. And I hate saying in heating and air conditioning that your lack of planning does not create my emergency. And if you can't plan on when you get these POs, then you're gonna wait for them. I mean, yeah, if somebody crashes a cruiser and you need something right with, it's different. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff we're gonna go over. Let's say admin should be at that meeting.
This is Monday in February.
We're on the 27th of February. And our purpose of waiting on that is that by that point, we'll know all the board members. March 27th.
Because after the election, no one will be.
Right, so we have all the new people in place, if there are any new ones, and know what we're doing.
And you're gonna invite the boards.
We're inviting, in fact, I told Susan to send it out now so they can start planning. All the committees, everybody.
What's for
Breakfast.
What's for breakfast?
But, you know, breakfast is not cheap anymore. For the budget committee, for the donuts and muffins and coffee, it was $100.
Welcome to Munchkins, I don't think so.
It's getting expensive.
We need to have Betsy to make those cinnamon rolls. That's what we need to do. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna spend $100, just do it right.
Anybody have anything else? So we'll go to the board business. Anybody wants to leave, can? Anybody wants to stay?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Joe, you listening? See you guys later. Everything going well next door? Fine, it was an unexpected food event. That's okay, that's all right. Thank you.
All right, so you see the first item is the demolition of the science building, and Quinn was supposed to get some paperwork ready, which he hasn't done yet.
So what this started, so basically, Grant is a statement that, he qualified for, just we have to sign it, the town has to apply it, understood, so.
You're reimbursed.
I have received a copy of the grant application package, because I had some, because normally, especially a municipality or an entity, only if you have the administrator of the grant, they build an administration cost where you can usually get anywhere from funds out of the grant to reimburse the town for this time. But my understanding was that, yeah, the town, they would have to spend their money for demolition, and then they could request reimbursement through the grant for the town, but we had to administer that portion of the grant.
What this grant is for, how it was understood, explained to me, was that there's an old building and the town wants to take it down to get rid of it, and so it makes it more appealing to somebody in the future.
Works for any project that results in new housing.
Right. So.
So, if these, are they still gonna come in, when they forward, are they still gonna come in and talk about, what is our liability, we're in trouble because it's private entities, not town,
From my understanding, this wasn't available for the towns to create housing, it was only available for private companies that had to be administered by the town.
And approved by the town.
Okay.
And so I told the planning board, I said, well, just tread cautiously, I think it's okay for us to bring them in and say, yes, this is a grant, we can look at filing for this to the town, but we can't advocate for their project because then it looks as though the town's predisposed once the plan comes through.
And that's why it's coming to Selectmen and not the planning board.
Okay.
I do have the sample paperwork, I can make a copy for you.
Oh, yeah, if I can get a copy of that, because I was interested if there was any administrative fees for the town, because I administer some grants for other towns through the county, and the sheriff's office gets reimbursed a portion of that grant to cover the fact that we have to administer it.
I obviously want to do whatever we can to make this move forward, but we should.
Because I don't think it's appropriate. The town shouldn't have to pay anything up front. My understanding of it, when it was talked about, is the builder pays out and they can apply for reimbursement through the grant.
They said there was no cost to the town, I don't know about fees coming back, so.
I'll take a look through it and see if there's a section on it.
Susan, you want to talk about the next one?
What is it?
About the watershed?
We had the Lakes Association and people in, they got a $100,000 grant, and we had to put out a request for qualifications for the person that would be their engineer to go forward with the watershed work. Forrest Bell was here with them, he's done work with them, Bell Engineering. He was the only one that put in his qualifications, so he's gonna be the company to administer that. We don't have the actual contract yet, they have time before they're actually starting. I don't know if you want to authorize Richard to sign it when it comes through, or if you want to, have them come in.
But to see it, they don't need to come in and see it.
Or see it first.
The other thing I would say.
I mean, we don't need to see it, authorize Richard to sign it. I mean,
It's all grant money, it's nothing,
Right.
there's no cost.
And that's who the Conservation Commission wanted, was Forrest Bell. He was the most qualified person to do the work.
Well, I'm thinking, whatever, my point is like, I was thinking before, we just signed the contract with St. Susie. We used to always have legally reviewed at the very least, all the contracts. And that one wasn't, that they were Primex or legal review, there's all this thing. I just think the contract should go through at least, liability, to Primex for a, review. We used to always do that, why would we send the clients when they want to spend money on legal reviews to do their story, but a liability review?
So I guess the bottom line is when you start getting these contracts, send them straight to Primex before they.
And we were doing no process, didn't expect you to sign that right away, but,
So we want to look at that whenever they get it ready. The next one is about the Block 5, and my first comment on that is it shouldn't go to the financial director, it should come to the planning board for signing.
Planning board?
Select board. Why would it go to the finance director?
And how we want on this one, let me preface it, I brought Mike over here, and I do not think that we did the whole thing, I like exactly what I've done for this town. But this is one of those, I feel like he's overhit.
It's too late now.
And that's the problem, that's a huge problem. Because now, he wants up to snuff, okay, and we're at a certain level. Now, how much is he charging us for a tax report versus someone else? But again, I like this tax report, but I want it over here, I want that. But I also, as a select board member, I feel this is one of those important bits.
And the feedback I've gotten is that the library got quotes and they were 3 times higher than their other 2 quotes for their IT support. Wi-Fi was 3 times higher.
Yeah, they were.
If they came in more expensive, but there were reasons why.
Yeah, they were more expensive when we picked them, but there were a lot of reasons why.
But I think it needs to be explained and documented in the minutes why we do that, if we're gonna do.
And they watch to a certain level, now it's a little bit different, so now we look at their thing, it might wasn't a shot like that.
And also the contract is still updating things that we haven't gotten to yet because we've staggered it out. But, so what's everybody's feeling?
I'll be honest, I can sign it, and I really like it, I want them to have a contract, but I would go against renewing the contract without one.
So we're gonna do 1 year and then go out a bit, because this ends like a month.
Why can't we talk with Block 5? Listen, our concern is that our policy states that we need to renew and send out the bid. Can we have a bridge contract for 6 months at the current rates so that we can do this the right way? I don't want to lose Block 5 because I think that would be a mistake. And yet they may be the right company to do it with. And it probably is. But if we ask for a bridge contract for 6 months and say, we need to be able to send this out, can we do it like this for now? We think we're gonna get it, but we need to go for protocol, make sure that we protect the services.
We've been happy.
Right, exactly. We have an obligation to meet, and then let's bring it right there, we have an obligation to go, especially a contract of this size. Let's do it this way, but if there's no reason to have any contract that we can't ask for a bridge in 90 days. I mean, 90 would be perfect.
All right, I'll talk to them and see if I can get that done. Land use folders, there's a bunch of things in here to sign. Abatements, there's a couple of those in there. Decide on town report.
Do you want,
Is it just the flat fee junior?
yeah, if you want, just the cover, it's 20 cents per copy or whatever it is, so it's I think it's 100. Yeah, so that's $100 if you want it, but it's mostly online, everything online will be in color. It's just the copies that we get printed, the 200 copies that we have, like per town.
I would say so.
So the 2 abatements in there, we'll have to take a vote on it.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Take a look at those. So do you need a vote on those $100?
I think there's a
On the $100?
It's not 33, it's not 33.
Those were good.
You know, a bunch of things they need permission for, so we're gonna have to take them. Are you looking at the abatement request, Kevin?
Well, I just saw that there was a abatement request on there.
There was 2 of them I saw over here. There's 2 of them.
One is North Road. What's that for?
Somebody's looking at something else.
The 2 recommendations.
Yeah, both of these are recommendations by Kara, they raise them.
Yeah.
This is 96 North Road, says, no longer swimming pool property. It's reduced by 5,100, which would drop about $115 on taxes. is gone, and it
Assesses that much money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised that the 5,100, because most time they're like 15,000.
That's what I'm saying.
It could be an above ground. I mean, we don't really know.
So, do you need a motion for that?
Yeah,
A motion to approve the two recommended adjustments.
What's the name?
The other one is 9 North Road. Owner believes his assessment is incorrect after review. The property correction were made. There's no gas fireplace, only 2 bathrooms, and the upper story is unfinished. Recommending that it reduce by 51,400, which involved 1,167.29 reduction.
Can I see the property tax already?
Second page.
This is in the construction area.
I don't know who that is. So we okay with both of them? If we are, we can do them together. If we're not okay with both, then we need to do them one at a time.
I make a motion to approve both as written and recommended by our assessor company.
Second by Chuck, all those in favor say aye. Motion carries.
Okay, moving back in the minutes, December 19, 28, 29, 7, 9, and 14. In your
Did you add that motion to the one that I sent you the minutes on it, add that motion that the staff made.
Actually, whatever you said, yeah, did it have to do with forming a committee?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I motion, anyone second it, or
So just touching on that, I'll put out, as soon as we have the town vote, as long as I'm still here, I'll put out to the board and say, hey, who else do we want interested for the committee, and then we'll ask members of the budget committee, department heads to put that together, because I didn't want to at least assemble it and get a first meeting in before the end of March.
So, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Everybody read the thing about the VFW wants to have 4 bands.
During the day, right?
I'm trying to.
It's just that back in the email so far, I gave them the form that you need to fill out for a special event.
Okay.
We can review it.
So then throw that out and we'll look at it. That means say when on this, does it?
I thought I saw something during the day.
I think
Like Saturday day or Sunday day.
one of the questions that I know they had issues last time was.
There was issues because they had no permits last time.
So we're gonna have a battle in the middle of 125 across the satellites.
Yeah.
And we're gonna solve it all.
Yeah,
So that's actually getting along good now that they've got the new commander. They've worked together on a few things. Satellite just had something for them.
That's why I asked you, what are they gonna do?
Who knows?
The battle in the middle.
They'll probably do something extra food wise or something to draw people over there.
Which day, 29th?
They should be 30.
Keys and Field. It was, this one for beans.
That's the land use change tax, because he took some land out of current use.
Those are the current dues.
Okay.
There's a fee.
So is that your motion or no? Sign it.
You can make a motion if you want to.
You make a motion to approve the land use change for water bean?
Discussion. All opposed, aye. Motion carries.
I would like to, I don't know if I didn't say it from liaison reports, and anything I'd like to say is, I want to thank Chris. It was a Kingston Days meeting. I couldn't make it, I couldn't make it. He went there, it was important that someone was there, and I'm sad for what I read online. But I think in turn, because that brought people into the meeting, and I think Chris
None of the negativity that had conducted itself on social media was brought to the meeting, and some of the people that had actually posted and didn't understand everything, and some of the folks on social media legitimately just didn't know, so they're asking questions, and it kind of turned into a back and forth. But even some of the people that did the initial posts showed up, said, hey, I kind of started out rolling on Facebook, so I thought I should at least show up and see what it's all about. And so there were some new faces there. I thought it was a good opportunity for me, my own knowledge, just to kind of see how the committee, steering committee works. But I think there's a lot of productive stuff in there, and it seems like they're really on track for how they're organizing and doing some items. There was obviously stuff on social media talking about some organizations saying that either indicating they weren't invited to participate, or they're saying they weren't participating because they had a side of the story. I actually, through social media, I said, well, it'd be probably great if you showed up to the meeting and hear all sides of the story. I wasn't there when this happened, but I'm sure there's a little bit of truth everywhere, and it'd be horrible to have an organization not want to participate because they only know one side of the coin. So, but I think everything that meeting was very positive. There were some dirt bike exhibitionists that said that if Phil builds a fire, they'll actually jump their bikes over the bonfire, which we were told that probably wouldn't happen.
John's truck and auto is up for renewal. You want to do the inspection with Chess? Since you've done it in the past.
Done myself.
Yeah, well, I don't mind going, but I was just. Yeah, why don't you go and take Jess with you so he sees what's being done and how it's being done and everything. They've already paid their fee, they've already filled out all the paperwork.
Chuck's back at Kingston Days, I did call Phil. I got a phone call from someone asking for the snow fencing from the car show, and said they invoked the name of Joe Thompson, bought the snow fencing.
Shut the front door.
And I said I would get back to him. I had a conversation with Phil, and it's Phil's understanding and my understanding that snow fencing was bought by the town, and that is the town's snow fence. It's really not worth anything, but it's all cut up and everything else. We still use it, and it's usable, but just to be clear, I'm under the impression it's the town's. It's not any private organizations.
And I will confirm.
I would too, unless they can prove it otherwise.
Purchased in the past 5 years in East Coast lumber. So whatever was purchased by that entity is long since gone in 10-foot pieces, so. Just the thing mentioned that, those things in the car show won't come back now because of the ways.
That's it, and that was one of the things, and I posted on social media saying, hey, if anyone has, I'd like to hear from your side of it. And, somebody said they were representing the car show. They stated that, no, they felt that the way the previous committee was treated, so they had no interest in participating. And they're one of the folks I said, well, it'd probably be great if you could come in and speak with the current committee, the select board, if you feel that they did something wrong, because I think you may hear the difference. And I think, it was being put out there as those people were just ousted and told that they weren't allowed. From everything I see, is not true. I understand they're upset.
They're upset because they didn't have enough help. Well, they didn't have any volunteers to help them. They expected to overdo it.
My guess might be that when they changed the date, that they already had a commitment, so then they're using that as a way to.
Maybe they had a room that we discussed the fact is that they charge $2 and $5 on the time, I guess, nothing.
$5 a head.
$5 a head.
Yes. they charge the people that live in the car.
In one item that did come up, because I asked the police committee, because for my own knowledge, I said, well, we need to clarify something about the messaging, because there are some people out there that are trying to say that the town is trying to turn it into a money-making operation, and that's not the intent. The intent is to spend money for the event, to provide a service to the community, and then return money to the coffers so that it can continue on. And then there's also, they want to increase funds for large anniversary dates for the town, to be able to support those bigger events so that the fund will grow. And so I made it clear to them, and asked them for their opinion on it, and it was made very clear to me that it is not about the trying the town to make money, but in particular, the car show incident wasn't about we want a cut of money they were charging at the gate, but if they were going to have, we were going to have to increase the fees if they were not going to be able to sustain their event, if they were going to rely on their public works to provide all the setup and takedown and all these other things, that the permit fee that they were paying wasn't appropriate because essentially the town was subsidizing their private organization event. And if they donate all that money to charity, that's fantastic, but we're still subsidizing their donation to charity.
For the record, it's just the motorcycle show, I mean, since the car.
Okay, so, yeah, that's it. And that's why I was asking people, I'd love to know people's viewpoint on this, because I'm just, social media is not a great place to affect.
No, but I agree that the intent was never for the town to make money. It's just, when I got involved in this, so the town doesn't lose money, that was the only intent I had.
It was intended to make money for the anniversary.
That's exactly right. I mean, when we did the 300, we raised over $325,000 for that event. It was 8 days between.
Last year?
We didn't, well, something, but we spent 20 something more, not 20 something, it was a few thousand. We did not cover the fireworks. We did not cover the fireworks. It's not a big deal, at the same time it is.
I wanted people to make sure the message is clear that it's not because we're trying to make money to go buy other things for the town. That it continue Kingston Day celebrations to fund itself as well as prepare for the major anniversary events.
We back them up at $25,000, usually their budget. They should be published, I mean, if they get a few more thousand, we perfect, because we add to them, so then when we get the 350th, we have a pool of money to do it. The big ones cost more because we do more, and it's usually days, 2 weekends and a week in between. It's a wonderful event, there's no question about it, but we should not be, the idea of the ones every year is to supplement that so that it grows. Not like tens of thousands, it's just to find a bigger way every 25 years.
And not to lose money.
And not to lose money, we should be able to break even.
And that's part of our procedure policy is that the purchase orders and everything this year sometimes were duplicate, sometimes they were missing.
It's terrible.
Everything. Yeah. While everybody's signing, one thing I've got Adam checking into is replacing these cameras. Because they're like 30 years old or something, and one's broke, but we're not even
There are 2 trash can requests in there too, do you need to know if they approve that?
You know,
Just additional error.
We're going to pay for an additional trash can.
Yeah, 35 Pillsbury Pass Road and 8 South Road.
What can we do about them when it just came in?
Yeah, one of them indicate the one in Pillsbury Pass Road indicates family 5, there's no way 1 barrel to manage our trash demands, thank you. And the other one just states that we're not running 1 trash can.
But you won't pay for it, so.
So we'll conclude the meeting and just keep signing.
It's very, this is one public.
You need us? Anything?
Yeah.
Not public?
Just hanging out front.
But you might enjoy it. All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us. recess. We're gonna continue signing paperwork and things like that and have one non-public session.
Make a motion, non-public, versus, legal.
Second.
Motion carried. Vote.
Yes.
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 Yes.